There is a pickup truck being sold brand new right now in 2026 for north of $90,000 loaded. And bolted into the front of it is a fuel pump that two of the three big truck makers have already run from. One paid a fortune to settle the lawsuits and switched to a different pump. Another recalled a mountain of trucks just to tear the thing out and put the old design back. The third is still bolting that same pump into brand new trucks and shipping them to dealers tomorrow morning. That truck is number one on this list. And when that pump lets go, and it does let go, it does not just quit. It shaves metal off itself and pumps it through the whole fuel system. Every injector, every line, the tank, all of it. The repair bill lands in 5 figures. I have bought running trucks, good ones, for less than that. These are not just unreliable trucks, folks. They are money pits with a tailgate. The same owner keeps coming back, $3,000–4,000 at a crack, until he gives up and trades it in for pennies. In the trade, we call a truck like that an annuity, because it pays the shop every single year. And the dealer selling you one will not tell you which engine code is the one that grenades, or which transmission lets go at 80,000 miles, or which pump can total the engine on one bad tank of fuel. The trade knows. The buyer most of the time has no idea what he just signed for. Every repair number in this video is a real American number. Dealer quotes, independent shop rates, federal recall files, the class action filings, consumer reports, not converted out of some other country's money. Real trucks, real American shops, real bills. I am Frank. I am 71 years old. I spent 34 years at GM Flint Truck Assembly, building heavy-duty Silverados and Sierras, and I retired a master tech. No badge loyalty here. I will roast GM as fast as I will roast Ford, and you will hear me do both before this is over. Nobody is paying me a dime. So here it is. 8 pickup trucks American mechanics are begging you not to buy in 2026, new or used, ranked from concerning to flat-out brutal. Stay to the end, because number 1 is the only one you can buy brand new tomorrow and still get burned. Hit subscribe so this lands in front of every guy about to sign for the wrong truck. Let us get into it. Number 8, the Nissan Frontier, and right behind it, the Xterra that shares the same guts. The 2005 through 2010 trucks with the automatic. These are cheap. You can find one all day for $8,000, $10,000, $12,000 and it looks like a lot of truck. Here is what the seller will not tell you. Inside that radiator sits a little transmission cooler, and on these trucks it cracks. When it cracks, engine coolant and transmission fluid mix into a pink sludge. Mechanics gave it a name, the strawberry milkshake of death. That milkshake runs through your automatic and destroys it from the inside. No warning light, no noise. One day it just stops pulling. Catch it early. A new radiator and a bypass is a few $100. Miss it, and you are into a rebuilt transmission, $3,000 to $5,000, on a truck worth $10,000. Nissan knew. They stretched the radiator warranty out to 10 years, and there was a class action. A cheap truck with a built-in self-destruct button. Number 7. The Hyundai Santa Cruz, the 2022 and 2023 with the dual-clutch transmission. Opposite problem from the Frontier. This one is practically new. And half of you are already saying, Frank, that is not a truck. Fair enough, but it has a bed, and folks are buying it instead of a real one. Hyundai put a dual-clutch gearbox in it. Not a regular automatic. And it shudders. It lurches. You pull away from a stop and it hesitates, then bangs into gear like somebody rear-ended you. Worse, it drops into limp mode and loses power while you drive it. I have read owner after owner who had the whole transmission replaced under warranty, and the shudder came right back. Some did it twice. Here is the tell. For 2026, Hyundai quietly went back to a regular automatic. They fixed it by admitting the design was junk. Past that warranty, the dual clutch is thousands to replace, and it does not stay fixed. A brand new truck you cannot get to run right is still a bad truck. Number 6. The Ford F-150. The best-selling truck in America, so I already made some of you mad. The 2011 through 2020 with the 3.5-liter EcoBoost, the twin-turbo V6. Strong engine on paper. Here is what breaks. Inside are parts called cam phasers, and on these they wear out early. First thing you notice is a rattle on a cold start. Sounds like a coffee can full of bolts. Guys bring it in swearing something is about to blow, And they are not wrong, because ignore that rattle and it turns into a timing problem. And a timing problem in this engine is a very expensive day. Now the part that will make your blood boil. The parts run maybe $500, $600, but they are buried, so the labor is brutal. The Ford dealer quote is $4,500 to $5,000 for a rattle, and Ford's coverage program on it expired January 1st, 2023. Buy one used today, that whole bill is yours. A $5,000 noise on the most popular truck in the country. Number 5. The Chevy Silverado 1500 and the GMC Sierra alongside it, same truck, the 2014 through 2019, with the 5.3-liter V8. This one is personal, because this is my house. 34 years at GM. I am not proud of it. GM built a good motor, the 5.3, then hung a gimmick on it called active fuel management. It shuts off half the cylinders to save gas. The reality is the lifters that make that happen collapse, and when a lifter collapses, it wipes the camshaft lobe and metal goes through the engine. You hear a tick, then a misfire, and the truck starts running on 7 cylinders, or 6. Catch it the day it starts, maybe $1,200. Let it go, and you are replacing the cam and every lifter, $3,500 to $7,000 at an independent shop, more at the dealer. And if that metal traveled far enough, the whole engine, there is no recall. It is a known defect GM sold for years. You want one of these? Hunt for the version without the cylinder shutoff, or pay a guy to delete it before it eats itself. Number 4. The Ram 1500 with the 5.7-liter Hemi. This covers 2009 through 2024, and Ram is bringing the Hemi back for 2026, so there are millions out there. Everybody loves the Hemi. Here is the problem, and it is the same disease GM has, different badge. The Hemi has cylinder deactivation too. They call it MDS, and just like the Chevy, the lifter for it collapses. Guys call it the Hemi tick. You hear a tick, tick, tick at idle, and that is a lifter starting to go. Once it wipes the cam lobe, metal rides through the whole engine, and now you are not fixing a lifter. You are fixing everything the metal touched. Independent shop, $2,500 to $4,000 for the lifters and cam. Dealer, $3,500 to $5,000. And if it grenaded the motor, a replacement engine is $7,500 to $11,000. There is no recall. What there is a stack of class action lawsuits against Ram over exactly this. Same gimmick, same failure, 2 different companies. You noticing a pattern yet? Quick favor before the top 3, because that is where the truly ugly money lives. If this is keeping one of you, or your brother-in-law, from a 5-figure mistake, tap that like button. It tells the algorithm to put this in front of more truck guys before they sign. Back to it. Number 3. Now we are into diesels, where the bills get serious. The Ford 6.0-liter Power Stroke, the 2003 through 2007 Super Duty, the F250, the F350. Ask any diesel mechanic in America to name the worst used diesel, and this is the first name out of his mouth. Here is how it kills you. A chain reaction. The oil cooler clogs. That chokes the EGR cooler. The EGR cooler fails, and the engine overheats. And when it overheats, it blows the head gaskets, because Ford did not put enough bolts holding the heads down. One part fails and drags the whole engine down. Now the killer. To do the head gaskets right, you do not pop the valve covers. You lift the cab clean off the frame. A job that is a bad afternoon on some trucks is a $4,000 to $5,000 ordeal on this one. And to make it stay fixed, guys spend another $3,000 to $5,000 bulletproofing it. You buy a 6.0 cheap, that is the bait. Then it takes back every dollar you saved, and a stack more. Number 2, back to GM, back to my old company, and this is the freshest disaster on the list. The Chevy Silverado 1500 and GMC Sierra 1500, 2021 through 2024, with the 6.2-liter V8, engine code L87. Not an old truck problem. People bought these new 3 years ago. Down in the bottom of the engine, the connecting rod bearings fail. When one lets go, it can seize the engine solid, or punch a rod through the block, and it does not happen in the driveway. It happens at 70 miles an hour, and the truck just loses power in traffic. In April of 2025, GM recalled about 721,000 trucks and SUVs over it. Under that recall, GM covers it. Up to a whole new engine, free, sounds fine. Here is the part that turns my stomach. In January of 2026, the government opened an investigation into whether the fix even works, because 36 trucks failed again after they got the repair. Some of these trucks got the recall engine, and the recall engine failed too. Out of warranty, a new long block runs $7,000 to $10,000. These trucks carry the name I spent 34 years building, and I am telling you to walk into that dealer with your eyes wide open. And number one, the one I opened this whole thing with, the Ford 6.7-liter Power Stroke Diesel. The Super Duty F250, F350, F450, from 2011 all the way to the truck on the lot this morning. Here is what makes it number one, and not just another used truck warning. Ford is still building it this way, right now, in 2026. Let me tell you about the pump. Deep in this engine is a high-pressure injection pump, a Bosch CP4. It was built for the wetter diesel fuel they run in Europe. Ours is drier, and it does not lubricate that pump as well. So it wears. And when it wears, it does not just quit. It shaves tiny pieces of metal off itself and pumps them under enormous pressure into the rest of the fuel system. All 8 injectors, the lines, the rails, the tank. Everything the fuel touches is full of metal, and to fix it you replace all of it, $8,000 to $15,000 and up. One bad tank of fuel and it happens with no warning, on a truck with 40,000 miles. On a used Super Duty, that repair costs more than the truck is worth. You total your own truck with a fuel pump. And to get in there, a lot of the big jobs on a Super Duty mean the cab comes off the frame. I have seen an $8,200 quote just for a turbo and an oil pan, a job a Cummins owner does in his own driveway on a Saturday. Now the part that ought to be a scandal. 2 of the big 3 already ran from this exact pump. GM paid $50 million to settle a lawsuit and switch pumps. Ram recalled about 222,000 trucks just to rip the CP4 out and put the old, tougher pump back in. 2 companies looked at this thing and ran. Ford kept bolting it into brand new trucks. That is your number one. Not because it is old, because you can buy it new tomorrow for 90 grand, and it still has the grenade in it. So that is your 8. 8 trucks American mechanics are begging you to leave on the lot in 2026. The Nissan Frontier and the strawberry milkshake that eats the transmission. The Hyundai Santa Cruz with the dual clutch that never stays fixed. The Ford F-150 EcoBoost and its $5,000 cold start rattle. The Chevy 5.3 with the lifter that wipes the cam. The Ram Hemi with the same gimmick and the same tick. The Ford 6.0 Power Stroke that lifts the cab off just to change a gasket. The Chevy 6.2 with the rod bearings and a recall the fix might not cure. And the Ford 6.7 Power Stroke with the one pump 2 of its rivals ran from and Ford still installs. Here is my honest take, same as I always tell you. The shop sees the truth the dealer will never say out loud. We watch the same trucks come back through the door, month after month. Same failures, same handful of engines. It is not bad luck. It is engineering, and it is on the window sticker if you know the codes. So what do you buy? If you want a truck that runs to 300,000 miles and does not bankrupt you, here is where I point people. A Toyota Tundra with a 5.7 V8, the 2007 to 2021 trucks, not the new twin turbo. A Toyota Tacoma with the 4.0 V6, a Honda Ridgeline if you do not need to tow the world. And if you want a diesel, buy the good Ford, the 7.3 Power Stroke from the 90s, or an old 12-valve Cummins, or any Cummins with the CP3 pump, not the CP4. Here is the funny part. Ford knew how to build a diesel. The 7.3 is one of the best ever made. Then they bolted that Bosch pump into the 6.7, and here we are. Now talk to me in the comments. Which one of these have you owned, and what did it cost you? The one you wish you had sold a year sooner. Drop it below, the ugly ones especially. And if you want the whole playbook on picking a truck, keeping it alive, and knowing which ones to walk away from, I put together a book called The Right Ride. The buying traps, the maintenance that actually matters, the exact models to chase and to skip, I am not going to hard sell you. There is a link in the description if you want it. Either way, do me a favor, hit like, hit subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. The best truck you can buy is the one that never meets my lift. This is Frank.